Well, Mark, this is a beautiful day here in Southern Illinois, and a great day because we're recognizing a dear friend of ours and one of his major accomplishments. He had many, but this truly is a great one, and it's in honor of all of his work and being kind of the guy behind the idea of the River to River Trail and the River to River Trail Society.
That's right. And if you notice that the monument here that we're putting up is literally right on the River to River Trail. And here's what's called the hitching post trailhead. A lot of river to river through hikers will stop here, and the church here, the Herod Springs Baptist Church, has done a great job of, providing water and comfort for people that are on the trail. And so it's kind of a fitting place to put the monument. Not only the fact that it's here on the trail, but John was also a Baptist preacher. So this is really kind of a neat place to honor the father of the River to River Trail.
Thank you all for honoring my father with this wonderful monument. Thank you for acknowledging his dream. My dad, John Odell, loved Southern Illinois, and he wanted everyone to experience the beauty, the history, and the peacefulness that you experience while out on the trail. My dad was a natural explorer. He sought a serene adventure, not the thrill seeker. He was more of just wanting to get to nature and understanding nature. And that is what hiking did for him. He could be the explorer, but the quiet, the serenity of the trail is what really was his calling.
It was exactly 62 years almost ago that John was introduced to Southern Illinois. He had to come down and meet my parents at Cave and Rock. And my parents went to the river every weekend. And anyway, he drove a little MG, and he came down by himself, and he came through Southern Illinois and Carver's Ridge. And when he got to the river, he said, "Oh my gosh, this is the most beautiful country I've ever seen." And he said, "I smelled the honeysuckle, and I saw the hills and the forest." And he said, "I promise you one thing, we're going to live here one day."
He had a way to begin the hike. He would start out with a round of introductions, get to know everybody, and then he would tell you a little bit about that hike, what was important and what was special about it. You can always find him in the crowd because he was always in his signature Bermudas and hiking boots and socks up to his knees. So he was such a trendsetter. And I'm glad to see others are kind of following suit.
My brother John Odell was always interested in exploring the great outdoors. As youth, we spent many weekends out in the country investigating caves, hills, and historical places.
John was passionate in his belief that someday, given the correct promotion, helped by the state, tourism boards and that type of thing, that the Shawnee National Forest, Garden of the Gods, the surrounding area, including Saline County, would become a major tourism destination.
What I think is interesting on this monument, it is a two-sided monument, by the way, so if you haven't looked at the other side, please do. But it refers to this being one man's dream. And it was a dream, but it was not only John's dream, it had been a dream for decades. Before, in the 1990s, when John put on his boots, took out his topographical maps, rode out with Merrily, and marked the trail. There were a lot of people who thought about it, a lot of people who dreamed about it, but John really, besides being a dreamer, was also a doer. And that is, I think, a very important part of his legacy here.
Few people come into your life who you recognize as being a born leader. Somebody who knows how to work with people, who knows how to organize, who are dedicated to the task, and are persistent to see that things get done. And that was John Odell. And if it weren't for John, as has been said earlier, we would not have the River to River Trail as we now know it.
This trail that John created, it knits us across history, it knits us across Southern Illinois, across ideologies. It's the one thing that I can't find a person in Southern Illinois who doesn't think it's a good idea. How often does that happen? There was genius in that. I kind of think of John had some genius.
It's not absolute quiet when you get into the woods, but it's a place where you can go and you don't feel the pressures of other things. Once you're out in the woods, you're listening to birds, you're listening to the water, you're listening to the wind, you have smells, you have sights and feelings to go along with it, but that all kind of contributes to what every human being knows and as well-being, and that comes from your solitude, and you can't get that from a city or any place else that I know of anyway.
What a great event this was today. I mean,
Nice.
what a tribute to a wonderful man, a vision that he acted on. It just makes the statement that one person can make a difference. He surrounds himself with a good team, and he moves forward and accomplishes such a great thing as this River to River Trail, and John was just remarkable.
You know, and one of the reasons that we've put it here is that, like I said, it is right here on the River to River Trail, and even if you're not a hiker, it's a good place to come in and check this out and to kind of understand who John Odell was. And one of the reasons that I was instrumental in picking the shape is because it's a footprint, and there was nobody that left a bigger footprint in Southern Illinois than John Odell did.
Right. The guy was a visionary, and as you hear his family talk today, and as you hear folks that have known him for years talk, and of course the relationship we had with John, he's one of those guys that he leaves a mark on your life in such a good, positive way. I mean, you're a better person if you knew John Odell.
Yep.
He made you a better person, he made you smarter, he made you appreciate the beauty of Southern Illinois. And sometimes we lose that, but John never lost that.
And we need to continue to walk in his footprint.
Absolutely, every day.
Every day.